The mystery surrounding Novak Djokovic influences the race for the ATP Finals. Novak Djokovic will be present at the Athens 250 next week, and it could be the last tournament of his season, as the Serbian legend has never confirmed his participation in the ATP Finals, scheduled at the Analpi Arena in Turin from 9 to November 16. The former world number one confessed that he has some physical problems that need rest to be resolved, which is why he also missed the Paris Masters 1000 despite tournament director Cedric Pioline doing everything he could to bring him to the new venue. The feeling is that the Serbian legend wants to stay focused only on the Grand Slam tournaments at this stage of his career, and that his mind is already projected towards the next Australian Open, where he dreams of making tennis history again. The 38-year-old from Belgrade had not participated in the Turin finals last year, when he communicated his decision to the whole world shortly before the draw ceremony. The fate of several players such as Lorenzo Musetti and Felix Auger-Aliassime will depend on his choice. Djokovic is mysterious. Knowles' 2025 has been marked by several ups and downs, but he has had the ability to raise his level in the majors by becoming the oldest player ever to reach the semi-finals in these 4 events within the same season. He also lifted his 100th trophy on the red clay in Geneva during the spring, and held third place in the ATP race for a period before being overtaken by Alexander Zverev during the Vienna ATP 500. Former American ace Sam Querrey is convinced that Novak will be present in Turin, while his compatriot John Isner has a diametrically opposite opinion. "I don't think Djokovic will participate in the ATP Finals, but I hope I'm wrong," said Long John in the latest edition of the Nothing Major podcast. "It seems to me that he is following the same steps as last year, and it is no coincidence that he has decided to skip the Paris Masters 1000. I think he's already focused on 2026. Carlos Alcaraz thought he would perform much better in his first official tournament in indoor conditions since February, but his run at the Paris Masters 1000 ended in the second round against a deluxe version of Cameron Norrie. While emphasizing the enormous merits of the British ace, who was good at believing in the comeback, it is worth highlighting how the current world number one has unleashed perhaps the worst performance of his entire season. The young Spanish star made more than 50 unforced errors and repeatedly complained about the surface being too slow, equating the court of the Defense Arena with the red clay of Monte Carlo. This premature knockout also reopened the race for the first position in the ATP rankings, as Jannik Sinner plays his best tennis in indoor conditions and had no problem beating Belgian player Zizou Bergs on his debut yesterday. If the 24-year-old from Sesto Pusteria lifts the trophy in the French capital on Sunday, November 2nd, he will return to world number one on the eve of the ATP Finals in Turin, scheduled from 9 to November 16th. Alcaraz needs to improve in indoor conditions. There is no doubt that the Italian champion has a much better attitude than his huge rival in indoor conditions, and the results of recent years certify this perfectly. This means that the 22-year-old from Murcia will have to work hard these days before arriving in Turin, where he had already been eliminated in the round-robin during the last edition. In a long interview with Super Tennis, former ATP ace Paolo Lorenzi explained the main differences between Jannik and Carlitos in indoor conditions. Alcaraz is definitely not at Sinner's level in these conditions for a number of reasons. The Italian seems born to play indoors and always makes the perfect choice. Instead, the Spaniard makes several technical and tactical mistakes. At the same time, I think Carlos will get used to the indoor conditions as time goes on and become very dangerous on these courts as well.